Hi, I'm Gracie, and this is Scott from Small Worlds Big Adventures, building community through gaming. And today we're here to review Planet.
Planet's a game for 2 to 4 players. You can play it in about 30 minutes. It's $35 on Amazon. Setup takes 5 to 10 minutes, probably closer to the 5-minute time once you played it a couple times. It plays a little different than a lot of other games.
Yes.
In fact, we probably ought to open the box and show what you got.
That's fair.
You get to use a small planet that you attach magnetic biomes to create your own little world.
And as you add pieces, the biomes either grow like this, or they get cut off.
Yeah.
But the reason you're creating these habitats is so you can recruit animals to live on your planet.
Yeah. A neat tactile kind of a game.
Yes. So when we review games, we rate them on a 5-point scale from terrible, bad, mixed, good to excellent. And to kick it off, we're going to talk about player agency. I think player agency is excellent. And I think that way because you get to pick a tile, and even if it's not the ideal tile you want, you get to put it anywhere on your planet, rotate it, set it how you want. There's a lot of just ability to take one piece and then determine how your world's going to look like.
A lot of choice in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think player agency is good.
Yeah.
I maybe wouldn't put it excellent just because every turn you're limited in the number of tiles you get to choose,
Sure.
and the other players are also choosing tiles. So it's, depending on where you are on the turn, it's cutting down on which tiles you can take. But yeah, it's good.
All right. So anyways, mechanics-wise, you said mixed. How come?
So I go with mixed for this for basically one reason, and it's it's the same reason why I think we like the game is the ball only kind of mostly works. It's a neat tactile item that you get to hold in your hand and turn around and put stuff anywhere, but then it becomes really quickly becomes hard to count up your zones.
That's fair.
Because especially when you get later in the game, you're like, well, did I already count this specific zone? And so I try to put my fingers on the ones I've already counted, but I'm already turning the thing. And so while it's neat, mechanically, it is a little bit tricky.
Yeah. You bring up a very good point. I would still say it's good because of the way you pull the tiles. They are magnetic, so there's that. There's literally one player I've ever had that's like, oh no, my tiles keep falling off. I don't know how he's holding his ball. But then also, depending what way you're playing the game, you can see the animals. And so you can plan ahead for what animals you're going to try and seek. There's a version where you hide some of the animals, which is fine too. But that tactile rotation, I see where you feel it feels clunky to count things. But in general, I think it just,
if it wasn't important, if it wasn't really, really important to count things, I'd probably put it at good. But unfortunately, the counting the different triangles is the game. I mean, it essentially it is the simple singular mechanic at the center of the game. Again, it's good. I like it. It just that one thing makes the game a little bit tricky to do.
Totally fair. Components.
Good. Components are good. The planet, again, as a tactile thing, feels neat. The
sturdy plastic, magnets are strong enough.
The magnet stuff fits on there real well. I've never had a problem with them just falling off. The cards for the animals are cute. And that's almost all there is for the components. They're really good. And at the price point that it comes in at, I feel is just really good.
I think my only complaint components-wise, maybe this plays into theme. There's different types of habitats. The water habitats and the tundra habitats, very color similar.
We've had games where they've been confused.
Yes. So if you're not paying attention about, is this more white on here than blue? You might get confused about what your goal for the game is.
It's not a big thing, but that has come up.
Theming wise, we both put excellent.
Yeah, the theme for this is excellent. The theme is essentially create habitats for these animals
Yep.
that you're collecting, and you're trying to get the best habitat so that you get the animal and your opponents don't. And it works real well. It's cute. The planet thing as a tactile actual object works great. It would still be fine if you had maybe a cardboard planet in front of you that you put the stuff down, but like having it as an actual little ball is just really fun.
Yeah.
And that just all plays into just a fun, quick game.
100% agree. Even the animals they put in the habitats, and this is going into being an animal nerd, like they're appropriate for those habitats. And then the habitats, they kind of get graded on, like the animal wants the biggest habitat of this, or wants the most different habitats and things like that. That also tends to play well with the animals that are chosen. But yeah, just, ditto to everything you said too, because it's just, a really cute, fun game.
Yeah.
Enjoyability? Good.
Yeah. The game is a little simpler than my preference in board games, but it's a fun game. It's a quick play. It's one of those that's easy to just pull out at the end of the night if you're looking for something to fill in the last 30, 40 minutes of game night or something. It's simplistic enough that you can play it with kids. It's a pretty good onboarding game, I feel. Maybe not the best, but pretty good.
Yeah.
Again, partly because you have the planet as a tactile thing, kind of, I think, helps engage people a little bit more than if it was a cardboard cutout or something in front of you. Works well for bringing new players and keeping them engaged in what is also just a quick game. Yeah, it's good.
I also think it's good, similar to you. It's a little simple for our typical taste, but there is just something fun about like spinning that ball around.
Yeah, we regularly pull it out to play as a filler game.
Yeah.
It works real well.
So, very deep question. What is your favorite animal and why?
And why is it penguin?
Or red panda? But
comment below.
Tell us what your favorite animal is. If we catch it, we might tell you if it's in the game. But Scott, tell us about your final thoughts on the game.
Final thoughts. The tactile planet kind of sets us apart from pretty much anything else that we have. It is solely the reason that we got it. Like I looked up reviews for it. It's a pretty cheap game.
Yep.
But the tactile planet was kind of the big thing, and it doesn't disappoint. It's a fun focus for playing a quick game.
Yeah.
I said it earlier, but it's a great end of the night game when you're looking for just something quick to kind of fill in, and you don't want to maybe pull out Words Against Humanity and
Cards Against Humanity,
something else. A lot of words today.
Joking Hazard.
But it's a great end of the night game. It's a great and it's a great gateway game.
Yeah.
It's really good for, I think, a younger audience, but it's also good for my uncle who never plays nerdy games. It's real easy to pick up and understand what's going on real quick, and then have a fun mechanic to help you move your way through the different turns and rounds of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I, too, appreciate the tactileness. We've mentioned the kid thing, but also there are players who, with just words and whatnot, could easily get distracted, are friends with ADHD and whatnot, and so having that tactile nature is a good way to keep them engaged in a way that a lot of board games don't offer. It is quick and easy replay. Like, you can easily just be like, hey, let's play another game. Going off of that, it's for, what is it? Two to four players?
2 to 4 players.
Yeah. But honestly, you could scale it higher. And we got a second game. You just decide how many extra animals you're going to put out. As long as you have the balls,
We found the game even cheaper and ended up buying 2 boxed copies with the idea that you could play. I don't think you could do 8. No. Would be tricky. You could easily do 5 and 6 probably. By adding, just because you don't use all the cards in a normal game.
Yep.
If you just used all the cards and then added 2 more planets, I think you could do 5 and 6.
And then, as well as growing it beyond just the 2 to 4 players, you could really easily adapt this so that even younger kids could play. So like, and maybe we'll do a video about this, but like you can adapt it so like maybe you're not competing for the animals, but each of the kids builds a biome that would work for the animal and things like that. Like because of its tactile nature, because of its cute theme and whatnot, it'd be easy enough to really get kids engaged in games in a way that makes it more thoughtful than games like Candyland or Shoots and Ladders.
Sure.
Scott's favorite games.
Yeah.
And then the quality of the items for the price. Like it's $35, which is really cheap for a board game. And you get these thick, nice plastic dodecahedrons with magnets that stick and stick well. The tiles are really cute and sturdy. Like it's not just like a piece of paper, like it's a thick cardboard tile. And the artwork's cute. So yeah. If you're curious of whether or not you like Planet, it might be hard to suggest other games for you. There's really not another game we've played like it. But if you're looking at like world building or like educational themes, that type of thing, you could look at, if you like Carcassonne or Primordial Soup, or even Parks/Trails, those types of games. If you play them and like them, you might also like this.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to corrupt your nibblings or children, you might also want to pick it up. If you liked our review of Planet and you're curious to know what other games we think would be great board games to onboard friends with, go ahead and like this video and hit subscribe. We do board game reviews and walkthroughs. Scott does gamekeeper advice. So there's lots of content for you to explore all of your nerdiest endeavors. And if you hit that notification bell, you'll get notified every time we upload a video. If there's nothing else, we'll see you next time. Now we're going to stop talking so I can put all this back.
Edit. The magic of editing.
Goodbye, Planet.